Live from the Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL 9 News at noon.
All right, parents, we know you worry about how to keep your kids safe online. Sometimes it's really tough to keep up with what they're doing. Julia Storm is an expert in social media. She's also a family wellness educator and founder of ReConnect. She's here with us. Hey, Julia.
Hi.
So this is not only a concern, it's causing a lot of problems in families because kids want to have that phone in their hand at all times.
Yeah, they do. And often in families, what we see is everybody's alone together, right? So you've got one kid in one room on the video games, another one texting in another room, mom is upstairs on the computer. So it's also, apart from creating some strife in the family and, you know, battles over screen time, there's also a bit of a disconnect going on. So it's definitely a big issue for parents right now.
Okay, so I know that when you give the child a device, you try to set some guidelines. Okay, for many parents, it's too late. We're past that point, right? So how do you kind of pull it back in without causing major conflict? Limit hours, limit what they can look at, limit where they can use their devices.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always try to help parents get in there early, you know, to set up good habits with their kids before things get out of control. So that's the first thing. But once things have sort of taken a turn that the parent's not comfortable with, you really have to sit down with your child and talk it out and say, look, here's my concerns. I know a lot of your life happens online. I get that. But here are my concerns. And how can we work together so that you're still getting to connect with your friends and connect with the online world, but I know that you're safe. And so much of this is about communicating with your child and actually being an ally to them rather than being in this like adversary position where they're really going to block you out and not listen to you at all.
Right, so you've got to do it as a family,
you
as a partnership.
You have to do it as a family. You have to do it as a team, come up with some rules for the family, and maybe they're not just for the kid, you know, because a lot of parents are distracted by their devices too. So when you sit together as a family, that also gives your child a voice and a chance to say, hey, you know what I don't like? I don't like it when you bring your phone to the table, for example.
And what about completely taking the device away? I imagine there are some situations where you have no choice. You have to do that. How do you feel about that? And how do parents go about doing that?
I think it depends on the age of the child.
Okay.
So if your child is young and using a tablet for video games, let's say, or for watching YouTube or whatever it is, you know, if there's a problem, you can take that tablet away. If your child is a teenager and their entire social life and their whole way of connecting to their friends and the world around them is through this phone, it can be very damaging to actually take the phone away.
Really?
So unless you're dealing with someone who has, you know, a problem, a severe sort of addictive relationship to their device, it's much better to sit down and say, look, we need to create some really strong boundaries here.
Okay.
And if we can't stick to them, then we're going to talk about, you know, getting you a flip phone instead if you're not able to handle this, right? But just pulling it away, I mean, that's going to cause some serious anxiety for your older teen.
I know how I feel when I leave my phone at home, right? You turn the car around.
Of course.
I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
All right, for more information about Julia Storm and her advice for parents in dealing with kids on devices, you could check out our website. It is kcal9.com. More on the conversation on online safety.